everybody, the off-road show that brings you all the results, news, and online shenanigans that make being online a good time. We'd like to say thank you to Fly Racing for their support of Seat Time. Please go check them out at flyracing.com.
Welcome to Seat Time, everybody. Brian Pierce here, your host for this fine Tuesday evening in the sweltering state of Texas. It is ridiculously hot, but luckily our guests are just as hot this fine evening. Mr. Caleb Ramsay. It has been a long time since you've been on the show, but glad to have you back. How have you been?
Oh, I've been pretty good. As the youth would say, it's been a minute.
It's been a minute. I don't even know that. Yeah. So obviously, me being 36 now, I don't keep up with anybody.
That's easy too with the Facebook. But yeah, dude, it's been a long time, and you've been hitting me up to come on the show. And like I was just telling you, I'm a truck driver, normally a local truck driver, but every week you ask me in a row, I was in Oklahoma or Kansas.
Escalates to being a regional truck driver?
Oh, man, yeah. Well, when there's an emergency and one of the big, burly, fat dudes messes up, they're like, Caleb, we got to go fix it. And so I have to jump in the truck and go out of town. But and then I was mad because you asked me to come to the show once, I missed it. Brett Q was on.
Yep.
And I'm just like, man, and I was really bummed about that. But
I'm
here now.
Yeah,
I'm here now.
This is a forum for everybody, to be completely honest. And that's gives you guys, the local Texas dudes, a chance to come in here and talk to all the fun dudes that are out there in the industry. Talk about dirt bikes, talk about some moto, maybe even some other random stuff as it comes up. Obviously, I went skydiving. We'll talk about that a little bit too.
So cool.
It'll be interesting. So, Seat Time is brought to you by the fine folks at Fly Racing. They just launched their new 2016 gear lineup. You can go check that out at flyracing.com. We will have Jason Thomas on a little bit later this evening. We're going to be talking with him specifically about some of the cool new features that they've added to the gear. Some of the big things for me is the Evo 2, the new BOA system that they've implemented there. The Evolution last year was really neat. They had some cool magnetic features on it. But this year they've gone to the BOA system, so they've gone away from the magnets, which I liked. I liked the magnets.
The BOA stuff's pretty cool. I didn't know they were putting that on dirt bike.
The BOA stuff is bitching. I remember when the BOA stuff came into the mountain bike world and the snowboard world for boots and shoes and stuff. I'd shit the bed. That stuff's awesome. So I can only imagine slipping a pair of those on and going, and then it fits so nice. I think it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, that BOA is the way to go. The ratchets, man.
So now we're going to talk about it, but we don't know yet. One day we're going to know what it feels like.
Yeah.
And then we'll have that much more to talk about. So, of course, flyracing.com. Go check that out. We're going to talk about them a little bit more in the show. Kenda Tire USA. So, kendatire.com is the URL for that. Obviously, some of the big stuff to talk about is the contest that we have. So, Kenda Training or Kenda TKO Training is the hashtag that you want to use. We'll talk about the contest a little bit more as that comes up. But, of course, the TKO, about a week and a half till that comes up. So, that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be there. I'll be doing the amateur program again, racing on that, and then of course documenting everything that goes on Sunday.
Super jealous.
Media.
I've been wanting to do that for a couple years now. I know Ishmael did pretty good last year.
He did.
And
Troy would have done well too, but I'm not going to say it. He pissed out.
He's like, I'm not going to ride Sunday.
That's
basically what
you
happened.
Qualified. Right? You earned this spot.
Yeah, I'm actually chasing the Torn series.
Oh, is that a race weekend?
Yeah, that is a race weekend.
Haven't you won them all? Don't you have a huge point lead or something? It doesn't make a difference?
Actually, no. Cameron's beat. We've only had 2 races of Torn because they got canceled from the monsoon season. And Cameron's actually leading me. He's got 3 or 4 points on me.
That's awesome. Well, that's good for you. I mean, it's good for the fans because we get the race.
Dice it up. But I am leading Torx and TCCRA. We've had 6 or 7 races of those. They haven't had near as many cancellations. But I'm going to make it to TKO because I did the Red Bull Last Man Standing whenever I was younger, and that was awesome. And it was also terrible at the same time. That kind of thing.
Yep.
So and then the TKO is kind of the new Last Man Standing. And I've been wanting to hit that up, and hopefully I'll be able to next year. I love some gnarly hill climb action.
Yeah, it's good time. So we're going to be covering that, give you a chance to be really jealous, but we'll talk about the contest that we have going on there. And definitely our last but not least sponsor for the show is Stillwell Performance. So you can learn more about those guys at stillwellperformance.com. Big thing, we've talked with Alan Stillwell multiple times on the show, even before they were ever a sponsor. And I've learned so much talking with that guy. So if you go back, listen to some of our archives, and you go, oh, you know what? I want to know about suspension for these kind of amateur hard enduros. We've got some segments on that. If you want to know about Colorado suspension settings. We've got segments on that. If you have a segment, maybe you want to talk about desert, right in the desert, what we should do for that, anything like that, definitely reach out either to Alan or ourselves, and we can get you Alan on the show, and we can kind of discuss that and get you some key pointers. Or you can go to stillwellperformance.com, email Alan, get set up, do your rider interview, send him your suspension, get it back, and Bob's your uncle. You're going to have some badass off-road suspension. That's the way I would suggest that you do it. If nothing else, just tell him that Seat Time sent you, and we'll have a good time doing it. So thank you to everybody who shows their support for Seat Time. If you're one of those people that, maybe you've got sponsors, you've got other people that you can't support some of our sponsors directly, that's okay. Everybody's got their own setup when it comes to the world. But a couple ways that you can help support Seat Time specifically is we do now have a little shop section on the website, so you can go to the website, look for shop. We're going to be adding a couple small things there. You've seen the drop catch we've talked about before, new koozies that'll be up there, and then of course you'll see a little link that says support Seat Time, shop Amazon. Click that little link. It's just going to take you to Amazon, and anything that you purchase on Amazon, we just get a little bit of a kickback from that. So that's nothing that doesn't cost you anything extra. Everything's exactly the same as it would be if you bought through Amazon. It's just go to the Seat Time site first, click that button, and that way we get a small percentage of that. Obviously, the more that happens, the better in the long run. Helps out the show, and we get more technology to help you guys have a better show. Of course,
Amazon is way too easy these days. Like I bought
everything,
some crap today. 2 clicks, $25. It's like 2 clicks. I mean, that's too easy.
And you're like, come to my house. Okay, thank you.
I mean, it's everything.
And soon it'll be there in 2 hours.
Oh, no, I don't know about that stuff. I'm leery about the 2 hours thing. I mean, next thing we know, we're going to have drones dropping packages in our yards.
Sure hope so. Sure hope so.
Okay, this is a FAA issue here now.
Getting
worried.
That's our Wednesday night show. Thursday night's the adult-oriented show, but Wednesday's when we'd like to talk drones and FAA and things that sound way more technical than we probably actually know what we're talking about. We do have a chat room, so tlk.io/seattime if you want to get in on the discussion. Seat Time Adventures, definitely go check that out. Adventures.seattime.co. That's something new and fun. Lots of teasers coming there. We will have a new one coming up on Friday. I mentioned the koozies and drop catch, so check those out on the site. Photo epics. That's one thing I'm excited for with TKO is to get another chance to do another photo epic.
You got some good shots from last year. Some real good ones.
I appreciate that.
Some like real high quality.
You're like,
in
why
your face.
isn't this in the magazine?
I mean, it shows how stuck the riders actually are.
You know why?
Extremely.
Because I was stuck with them in the fucking mud. It sucks that I didn't get this picture, but there was actually a time where there was a gentleman that was helping me. He actually was like holding an umbrella for me. Like he offered. I didn't ask. I was like all huddled, covering my camera, and he was nice enough to do that. And so I'm trying to like kind of stay with him as he's helping me, but we're on a slick, nasty, steep downhill, and I slip, foot goes out from underneath me, I just slide all the way down my back, holding my camera in the air to make sure it doesn't hit the ground, and I slide right underneath Caleb Russell's bike. Like literally, like my feet go under his bike, and I'm looking up, and Caleb Russell just looks down, and I see the hate, anger, and determination to get the fuck out of those woods in his eyes. Like it was just like, I was like, sorry.
Yeah, he was running top 3.
He was doing okay for a while, but it was honestly, once it got wet, it was downhill for him.
Really?
Yeah,
okay,
that's where he struggled a lot, was when it got really wet last year.
That's funny. I did not
He's not
know
even coming
that,
back this year. So
really?
if that tells you anything.
Yeah, well,
if there's a weekend he wants off, he said it's this one. So that's what's going to happen. So we're going to talk a little bit about Jonny Walker a little bit, and then some work stuff. So Jonny Walker coming over to the States to race TKO. That's going to be wicked cool. But before we do that, what the heck else has been going on? You said you've been racing Torx, racing Torn, racing TCCRA. That's a lot of
busy man.
Been driving. How's your over the top game? Though I mean, like, do you guys practice your arm wrestling while you're driving the 18-wheelers?
What's the name of that movie?
Yeah, Over the Top. Oh,
it is over the top. It was Sylvester
Stallone.
Like
25, 26?
I remember Sylvester Stallone.
You might not be old enough, Steven.
And then he's got
I think that's the problem.
He's just driving down the road and he's got
always
the weight rack. He's got the weight rack, and he's like extremely low BMI truck driver. Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, I remember that was good. No, I don't.
Do you get invited to any competitions like that?
Wrestling, dude.
Specifically because they want to beat you?
I've seen too many YouTubes of people just like snap and just. And I don't arm wrestle anymore. I used to.
Anymore.
It's like,
anymore.
Arm wrestling.
Back Back in the day.
Yeah, in high
champion
school.
of our gym class.
No, man, just in and out of truck stops, and just doing my thing.
Just, I'm up. Time to go down.
What? No, it's these, man. Caffeine
I
pills.
don't know what that means.
Caffeine pills.
Just slot lizards.
Slot You're mixing categories here. Slot lizards, man. Oh man. But no, yeah, like I said, I'm really busy. We got 10 race weekends coming up in a row. Yeah, we're into October.
Is it a lot of makeups, I guess, from earlier in the year?
A couple of makeups, and then we're doing, and then a lot of double headers too, because Torx is kind of follows. They're the South Texas Off-Road Series, and they do. Gil does a fantastic job. They do an awesome job running it, but they kind of mimic the Works Series. Okay, and so they have 2 pro races, and I think Works is like a 2-moto format, right?
Yeah, they've kind of changed it up a lot, and it's gone back to a 1-moto format.
Is it 1-moto format? No, okay, so Torx is still doing 2 motos, but it's 2 separate pro races. So they have Pro Saturday and have Pro Sunday, and kind of like my long-time goal is to win every off-road series in Texas. So Torx is the last one, right. of the 4, and so we're doing all the Saturdays. So and we've already had 2 or 3 double headers. So we go down to Torx, go down like Houston. I race at 4. We're on the podium at 6:30. Off the box at 7.
See how confident that was?
And
I'm
then
on the podium at 6:30.
Well, I'm just saying, like, what happened? Okay. And so then we're hauling butt back up north. Get to a hotel at 1 a.m. Wake up at 6. Do practice and then race. Torner TCCRA Sunday morning. So the double headers have been a lot of fun. But it does take a toll on you. But I think probably end up doing like 27, 28 off-road races this year.
Ooh, buddy.
But I can't get enough, man. I've been riding pro for 10 years, and I just can't get enough, man. This is awesome.
You know how many years I've been riding pro?
Well, you rode eight in the enduros. Yeah. So you got like a weird race fraction. You got like a 3/4 or 5/8, and then like a half here, and like
see how he tries to church it up for me, folks.
You were in the class, okay?
Yeah. I was officially elevated to the class, and I was like, "What are y'all doing? This is retarded."
I like to have fun on Saturdays. Drink beer.
I know. Oh well, there went that idea. Well, that's cool. I'm glad that you've been racing dirt bikes. I have been trying to even ride. We did Seat Time Adventures in Colorado, so obviously
so jealous of that too.
Dude, those were epic days of riding there. But coming back, just trying to get life back on track. We had Liam's birthday party on Saturday, and then on Sunday, I got a chance to go skydiving for the first time. So that was wicked cool. Nice. And I think Steven actually has a little bit of video for us.
We're gonna go. We're gonna go to that. We're gonna go to it.
I think we are.
All right,
let's do it.
Okay.
Confident for me, Frank. Just a slight bit. That's working. Excellent. We'll see you guys on the outside. All right. Woo!
Baby. Let's just narrate this. So looking out the plane. So this is our camera guy getting out the plane. That's me, extremely feeling vulnerable, strapped to Frank, my dude. It was awesome.
He looks confident.
We fly out the plane. He's like, go to arch. I was like, oh, buddy, I'm arching as much as I can. Pelvic thrust. There it is.
He pretty much tossed you out of there.
Yeah, buddy.
So
look at my mustache.
You look
How
like
awesome
the Red Baron. You really do. I mean, obviously blue, but you get the idea.
Oh yeah.
So a couple of 360s here.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, look at the altitude. Oh shit. There's 60 seconds of free fall. We need to pull this thing before we die. What was funny is everybody else was like, oh yeah, I knew right when he was going to pull the chute. I had no fucking clue. So he pulls it, and all of a sudden I was like there it is.
It's like I like how they slow that down so it doesn't show just how violent of a jar it is.
It shows the moose knuckle that gets created from the fucking leg holsters just tightening on your junk.
That is pretty cool.
That was the one thing I asked Frank. I was like, well, what's the big deal? Like, once you get your shit together and stuff, and you kind of maybe you do this for a living, or not for a living, but it's a bigger hobby. And he said, well, one of the biggest differences is when you get your own gear. He's like, because when you get your own gear, it all fits so much more proper, so you don't get all the weird tight spots.
Sounds like you've been looking at a wingsuit.
No,
start doing some
there are
perimeter flying.
Years and years. There are I mean, thousands and thousands and thousands of jumps to ever get to a point where you can be a wingsuit.
1,000? I thought it was like 500 or something.
No, wingsuits
Which is still a big number.
wingsuits are way harder than they look.
Well, they look so easy, just like Supercross.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Supercross looks totally
obviously
easy.
it flows that smooth.
Yeah, yeah. They're just like floating, right?
Yeah, we've watched a couple of those videos, man. That is a fantastic stuff. That is
it's an adrenaline rush
crazy.
watching those guys do wingsuits. So I can only imagine what it would be to do.
Like
it
I have
in real life.
nightmares, but they're just like that. But they're living it. It's like entry.
Yeah, some of them aren't living it anymore, unfortunately. So that's a big Too soon. But yeah, skydiving was bitching. Got a chance to do that with some good friends of ours, Rick Nolan, who's actually been on the show before. After
Rick's a cool guy.
2013 TKO, super quiet guy. I don't think he said anything the entire time. And then Eric Middaugh, who helps out with some of the different, I think TCCRA is one of the staff members and stuff like that. So good dirt bike adrenaline junkie friends, getting a chance to do more adrenaline junkie type-esque stuff. So we're going to talk about the TKO a little bit coming up in about a week and a half. Now, before we go totally in, Kenda TKO training. So that is the hashtag that you need to be using to get yourself a chance to win some Kenda Equilibrium tires for the event. They'll be delivered. We're going to pick the winner next Tuesday live on the show and announce them then. And the tires will be there for you with Mike Tosh at the event on that Friday. So you can pick them up then, put them on the bike if you choose to do so. We would obviously appreciate that. You get a chance to compete on some of the Equilibrium tires. But if you already have a pair or you've got other stuff that you want to run, sell these, give them to a friend, don't sell them. Don't be a dick. But
now on those Equilibrium tires, is that still the same deal? If you wear them on Saturday, you can't compete on Sunday? Is that the whole deal? I thought if you run a trials tire,
so honestly, this is a sticking point for me too. I can tell you, I honestly don't know yet.
Okay.
So the Equilibrium is that kind of that hybrid tire, right?
Okay. Yeah.
It's not a trials tire. It's specifically built to be that kind of hybrid between a trials tire and a full on like knobbied, and it's a sticky compound.
Right.
Okay. So
that's
here's my quick assumption. Kenda is the main title sponsor. Kenda is going to want people to run their hybrid tire in an event that they're the main sponsor of.
Yes, sir.
Right? Mm-hmm. That sounds like marketing 101 to me.
Sounds like a conflict of interest.
Right. So if somebody says that you can't run the Equilibrium tire, they probably haven't talked to people that are actually in charge.
Well, yeah, you're right.
Again, honestly, I don't know. That's my marketing 101 class assumption.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. That it kind of can go either way. We'll find out. So people emails.
People could try to make a stick point about that, but honestly, I really doubt it because of that in itself. It's like it's Kenda's tire. They've been really pushing it for the past 2 years, and it's meant to be that hybrid kind of tire. Yeah, that's specifically designed for these events.
Yeah. I might have to look at the new rule book. Might have a little change in it or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Little penciled in spot that looks like it's been Xeroxed a couple times. That's okay. So use the hashtag Kenda TKO training when you're posting pictures to Instagram, possibly this weekend, and we'll announce the winner next week. So one of the cool things about the TKO is obviously that it's grown since 2012. It's grown a lot.
I've heard more and more news about it. I didn't even hear about it in 2012, and then last year I heard more, and then the year before I heard more, and last year I heard a lot about it.
Yeah, now I know we had 20 people come from Texas up there.
Yeah, I heard about the whole Texas gang. No, again, I was doing something stupid, probably in Ohio or I don't know, probably driving somewhere, no telling.
But. So it's gotten so big, or Cody Webb has gotten so dominant at this event that Jonny Walker is coming.
I know, man. Think about it. It's one of the gnarlier. I don't know. Is there a gnarlier extreme enduro race over here?
We've got the last dog standing on the West Coast in California. The Prairie Dogs put on. That's pretty gnarly.
I saw some videos of people tossing their bikes.
It's got a lot of West Coast terrain. Where, at the TKO, they have the ability for a lot of tree run type single track. Now, granted, some of the trails out there that we ride on for the TKO, they feel like they might be a double track, but they're very overgrown. So at the same time, it's not tight single track, but it is a single track trail that you're riding on that sometimes does widen out to a much wider space, mainly because there's so many rocks. People go 20 feet to try to look for a trail. And then, of course, the Tough Like RAR just happened up in Pennsylvania with the RAR group up there. That's new this year.
Yeah, I haven't heard about that.
The Ozarka 100 is in Arkansas.
Yeah, I know about those.
We've got a couple more, but they're starting to happen. We're starting to get more.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of
national
hype
events,
coming from Europe, and I mean, they've had the Erzberg rodeo going for years. Everybody knows about that, and that's, one of the premier gnarly, things going on, So I mean, then they got the extreme enduro circuit and all that. So I mean, but yeah, I guess would you call this the premier?
I think that's a really interesting question.
I mean,
from having been to it, I would probably call it. But here's the problem: is I haven't been to stuff on the West Coast, and I haven't been to like the Tough Like RAR or the Ozarka 100. So I can't say that this is the premier. It feels like it's the premier one.
Well, you had Russell there, you had Baylor there, Brown was there, Webb. I mean, you have all those heavy hitters.
Yeah, I would say that last year that they got that. It was obviously drawing in a lot of people, but then last year they had the Enduro Cross come into the East Coast for the first time in a long time to Atlanta. And so a lot of people came over that week early and were able to compete at the TKO that wouldn't have typically competed at the TKO because they were coming in town.
That's a good point.
That's
a good point. Yeah.
So but that helped. That kind of stuff helps because that kind of publicity. So obviously it's continued to gain that. So are we going to see Jonny Walker come over and completely dominate and go, oh, well, that's why it seems like our guys don't do that well in Europe because Europe's just that much more gnarly? Or is his lack of ability to come over and adjust to, to jet lag, to the food, to training, to the heat and humidity, to all that kind of stuff?
That's a good point because it's going to be, more than likely, it's going to be hot. And where
does
he hang out? England?
It's hot and humid.
Yeah, where does he hang out? England.
Yeah,
so I mean,
UK
this is a
France.
big deal. Like when Roxon came over, this is a big deal adjusting, to the heat and humidity.
Yeah.
So
some
yeah,
of the notes I took were the biggest thing is like, what's the biggest difference for Walker in the States? Wet jet lag, number one, because he's coming in the 13th. Races for them in the 15th and 16th, or they're on the 15th.
That's what I was asking you about.
Like,
I thought he'd come over earlier. He's coming on the 13th.
Right. So with that, it's kind of like, what?
That's a big deal, yeah.
My battery's about to die on this thing. This is retarded. Let me see if I can save this up. But so, and then of course with jet lag, all that kind of stuff, right? So, then food. He's going to come over. He's going to be here quickly. He's probably not going to sleep that great the first night. Then he's going to be hungry at weird times, like all that kinds of stuff. Does he know what to eat? Is he going to have people with him that kind of know how to help him find food, like in the food that he's used to
like
eating?
GMOs,
Right.
Sugar.
Yeah. Can I handle all this? McDonald's, fuck yeah, I want it. I want it in my face. Event format. With the TKO kind of format, since he's a professional, he's going to come in and only have to do the hot lap. So he'll have the hot lap. He can ride fast. Seeing him compete against guys like Graham Jarvis and Tadej Bezuziak, like he can ride fast for short distances and for long distances. So I don't think that's going to be an issue for him in the TKO format, where they start to get a little bit more head to head, start to get bang a little bit more bars. They're still going fast. They're going a little bit longer though this time. I honestly don't think he's going to have too many issues there. So I don't think the format is for these guys at this level. I don't think the format changes much for them.
No, I mean it is a different layout, but than what they're used to. But everybody's doing the same, so I think it kind of levels it. But yeah, no, you're exactly right. I didn't think about that as much, but the jet lag and then the food, that's a big deal. Blows my mind he's not coming over sooner.
Yeah,
really does. But I mean, I don't know.
You said the weather. I think I think the jet lag plus the weather is gonna just knock him on his ass.
We'll see how gnarly this dude is.
Yeah, because that's the lesson that Cody Webb learned. That he went over to do the first Super Enduro, and I think he went over like a day or two before the event, and just was dead. Like he was dead for days afterwards, just because his body was so off.
Yeah, I mean, jet lag's a serious thing when you're going to the other side of the planet. Now, if you're flying, here to Colorado, it's like you have no excuses. But going across the planet like that, that's a huge game changer. So yeah, dude, that'd be really interesting. Yeah, and Cody, I don't know. I think we'll have a good battle.
Cody's been dominating like a mother.
We'll have a good battle.
Like a mother. But I think Cody Webb's his biggest threat for sure. Dominating the TKO the past couple years. And then doing really, but he's challenged against him at the Super Enduros and stuff, so I think he kind of knows Walker a little bit. So I think it's going to be a good battle.
Oh yeah,
especially if it rains though. That's where it could totally be like.
They haven't rained in the forecast. Well, I guess,
but it seems to rain there every year later in the afternoon. And that's where Webb always shines. And I wonder if that's, but then Jonny Walker's from the UK. It's always wet there.
Oh yeah,
So I'm
slick
wondering, it's
mossy rocks.
If it
is
rains, that
up
it's
his
just
alley.
those two guys, like just head to head the whole time. Like, you know,
I don't know,
it
man.
could be interesting.
Yes,
It could be
sir.
interesting. All right. Well, as we kind of close this up, let's text Mr. Jason Thomas and see if we can get him up, because then my computer is going to die, and then I'm going to go completely off of memory, and we're going to see what happens. But what's cool is Jonny Walker has won all of the hard enduros that he's entered so far. So
Really?
Yep. They did have the shared tie at Erzberg at the Red Bull Hard Hare Scramble, but other than that, he's won all the other ones. So Hell's Gate, tough one, and now Romaniacs, and then he's got Sea to Sky and Megawatt, which is the Taddy Blazuzak hard enduro that they started last year. So
I hadn't heard of that one.
Yeah.
Megawatt?
So yeah, Megawatt. Yeah, it's a much smaller one, but it's in Taddy Blazuzak's hometown.
Really?
In Poland. Yeah.
Oh,
So if he can win those two, think about that. Like, he would win
he's
all of them.
kind of the gnarliest dude
Yeah.
on earth.
And he said what he wanted to do is he wanted to beat Graham Jarvis. So
Interesting.
all right, sounds like he's gonna do this. Let's put these things on.
Okay,
Should be
okay.
good for a few, he says. Is he on?
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
How's it going?
What's up, dude? Sorry about that. Our call-in process is nowhere near as professional as what Steve Mathis has set up. So
That's all right.
We just make it work. So you're traveling. Are you traveling for work or traveling for pleasure?
No. Work, just trying to wrap up this 2016 launch, so just kind of towards the end of it anyway.
Right on, man. Well, then we'll catch it easy with you. The gear that you guys released at Washougal looks absolutely phenomenal. What I think is awesome is that you guys every single year, I would say for about the past 2 years, have found some cool new niche to really grow your line with. And I think fabrics was a really cool thing you guys did a couple years ago. Last year, some of the magnets that you guys used, now that seems stupid, but on my Evolution 1 gear, they worked awesome. And then this year, you guys are pulling out the BOA closure system on the Evolution 2.0 gear. So how do you guys keep coming up with these really fantastic ideas on how to innovate your gear?
Well, we have some really smart people, downstairs in the design, so I can't take too much credit on that end. But no, I think communication is a huge. So we try to stay all involved, and even with our pro rider side, it really came from Andrew Short and his trainer Seiji. That was kind of their baby, and obviously we saw it through. But they kind of brought the idea to us and presented us with an idea for our project. So. It's stuff like that where you never really know where you're going to get your innovation from. You just try to kind of listen to different ideas, and a lot of them never will see the light of day. But then every once in a while you find one that really does make sense, and one that will, end up in a store one day.
Right. Now, I can only imagine that you've worn the Evo 2.0 gear with the BOA closure system, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And is it magic? I mean, do you just feel so secure?
You know what? It really is. It comes down to being able to fine tune the fit more than anything. We like to say micro adjustability. That's kind of a BOA catchphrase, but really the biggest thing I've seen is with guys that really like, say if they're like a 33 or a 31 size pant, you really have the ability with this BOA system to kind of create that out of a standard 32 or 34. So each little click is an adjustment in itself, and it's just really can get the most true fit of any pant out there worldwide.
Fantastic. And then one of the things too I noticed is it seems like you guys you guys always play with colorways, but you guys kind of came out with a new bit of a square logo on some of the Evo gear too. I mean, is that another kind of thing that you guys are working towards of kind of change? Is that changing kind of the brand logo just a little bit, as that evolves, I guess?
Yeah, we play around with a lot of things, and obviously the design team down there is always, messing around with all kinds of things. And most of them, like same thing with a lot of our ideas, they never really ever make it to a production item.
Yeah.
But just trying to keep it fresh and keep people coming into the store and seeing what's new. And every year you want to kind of change the game up. The last thing you want is for your stuff to be flat or stale. So, the square look is really for kind of brand recognition. when guys are on the track, we obviously want them to be able to see what and read what kind of gear it is, and that box kind of brings attention to the logo.
I agree. That's why I use duct tape and make a square around my crotch.
There you go.
And I'm like, yeah, there you go. Everybody.
Yeah, you got to highlight your attributes.
Well, I don't know. I might call it attributes. Other people would call them detrimental to their health, but we'll just go with attributes.
Trying to give you the benefit of the doubt.
I appreciate that, Mr. Thomas. I appreciate it. Everybody. People need to be more like Mr. Thomas. You know that, Caleb?
I reckon.
Yeah, come on. So, and then I like the Patrol XC line. So is this does the Patrol line in what it was not exist anymore, or are we looking at the Patrol XC line as kind of a next step from the outer pants, booty, baggier kind of clothing?
Yeah, it's basically just in addition to the Patrol line. Obviously the Patrol all stayed the same for 2016. We just wanted to offer something that was kind of the next step up from that. It's an in the boot version versus an over the boot version in the pant, and it's a little bit next level, something you could race in. And actually, you could race kind of off-road and motocross in it. So it does a little bit of everything, and all of the ideas from the XC line we kind of stole from different lines, and it's almost like this Frankenstein type line where we have all these great ideas that we wanted to build one line out of. So it's something exciting for us. It's something we've never done, and we look to kind of improve it as you go on.
I'm surprised that they don't have little zip-off pants for the lower legs. Is that not coming back?
Well, that's on the actual normal Patrol line. So in this the in the boot version, it's a little bit more racy than that. We it's a little bit more the standard like motocross style.
You know what's interesting though? I like the idea of the pants having, or these pants as well, still keeping the side pockets. There's times like that when you're maybe going for a longer trail ride that you don't want to put on your big ass backpack to carry some extra stuff just because it doesn't fit in your normal water bladder, So I like the idea that maybe you just kind of, I could stick with gel or a bar or something in here and just still use my kind of regular old bladder. That's one of the things that caught me. Now the pads, we've noticed too, like back in the day, you would have seen jerseys with kind of the pads built into the arms. You don't really see that as much anymore, but I noticed you guys have worked that into these Patrol jerseys. Is that something that we kind of see in this adventure market?
Well, it's really more for, riding off-road, like a lot of single track. And I really didn't have a lot of experience until I moved to Idaho. But, man, the single track, if you don't have any kind of padding in your sleeves and shoulders, the tree branches, they'll beat the hell out of you, to be honest with you. So
yeah.
We wanted to add a little bit of protection there and just make it a little bit more single track conducive. And then the pockets on the back, I've never really seen anything out there, on the market that has pockets in the back like that. It's kind of bicycle inspired. But obviously anything with, motocross style gear doesn't really have any storage. So, like I said, it's a hybrid of a lot of things. It'll do motocross. It has all the stretch panels and all the features that allow, good motocross equipment, but then it has storage and it has all this, single track padding and stuff for an off-road set of gear. So it does a lot of things well. And it's something that you could kind of cross back and forth between different disciplines of riding, and it's going to work.
Hell yeah. Yeah, when was the last time, Caleb, that you wore a jersey with pads on? I mean, granted, I'm for it. I get it, and I like it, and I fall enough that I could use it for sure.
Yeah,
so,
I'm thinking like whenever I was a kid on minis.
So it's
early 2000s.
To kind of see it kind of coming back.
And that was really nice, too. I never really thought about that, but I mean, that's just a little extra for whenever you're cruising down some dry slick on your elbows and on your knees, which is a regular
You guys know me all too well. You know that I'm going to be on my ass going, I want pads.
I mean, really, like how often do you have road rash on your arms? Like a lot,
all the damn time.
So, I mean, that's a great idea. All the damn time.
So last bit, you guys have pushed Ride Life, and I was going to use the word hard, but honestly, I wouldn't say that. I would say well. You guys have pushed Ride Life extremely well, and I love the fact that you guys have taken this so much larger than just we make motocross gear. So we've kind of got like the brand slogan up here, Ride Life, and it's got the whole little dialogue and stuff. But as somebody who's an employee of Fly, kind of tell me what Ride Life means to you and how it can kind of help some of us understand the brand a little bit better.
Well, really, the genesis of this whole ad campaign was, kind of began with the real creation of a real marketing department for Fly. And our marketing director is a guy named Jackson Esselman, who has been with the company for a long time. But we really wanted to get a little bit more organized as far as how we did our advertisements and get a little bit more uniform in our message. And for us, it's always been about passion, about riding. Pretty much everyone in the company rides in some way, form, shape, or another. So we really wanted to kind of get that out there and let everyone know kind of what we were about, that it really was about riding dirt bikes, whether you're out riding off-road or you're racing, hardcore on the weekends, or you're, former pro like myself, or you've just been around your whole life and never even raced before. You've just ridden off-road your entire life. So it really all comes back to that central message of riding dirt bikes and having fun with it. Everyone can kind of relate to that same message of the family side of it, growing up riding dirt bikes and being around it, whether you were racing or just having fun camping and riding on the weekends, or whatever your kind of path was to riding dirt bikes. We can all share that same kind of feeling of growing up around it and just being excited to throw your leg over the bike and go riding.
Hell yeah.
Well put, sir. Well
I know.
put. Yeah.
I think you've been working on this for a while, and I'm glad you have, because it sounded very professional, Mr. Thomas.
Yeah, I thought you were a dirt bike racer. You sound like a trained college degree salesman, man. Like been doing your homework, bro.
You know what? I have some smart people trying to teach me around here how to do it. So
there's one thing you notice about Mr. Thomas, though, is that you listen to him talk, especially a lot on the Pulp MX show and some of the stuff that he puts out in Racer X. He's got his shit together mentally a lot more than a lot of other people does. So I like the way that he kind of phrases things, if you will. He's very well thought out.
I'm going to assume you can count your concussions on like one hand.
Yeah, I think I didn't go fast enough at times, which was kind of a detriment to my career. But now that I'm done racing, I'm probably fortunate that I didn't go faster.
Right. That's funny. How many count your concussions on one hand?
I mean, not to offend anybody out there, but I mean, for real though, I mean, there's some people out there that some washed up guys that Once you have more than you can count on your hands, it should be. Yeah, you're like a retired football player, man. It's
all right, so before we let you go, obviously, thank you very much for spending some time with us. But
no worries.
At the release party there. In some of the pictures we saw in Racer X and stuff like that, it looked like there might have been some drinking going on. Was there anybody that made an absolute awesomeness person out of themselves at the evening, or were there any good stories?
You know what? Nothing got too crazy because it was, we kind of restricted it to the media because it was pretty expensive to have that many people there and rent the bar and all that stuff. And with Washougal starting so early the next morning, I think everyone kept it pretty under control. I know that, all of our employees and marketing staff and everyone, we all had a great time because we've been working so hard to really get to that point. And the hard work, I don't want to say it was over, but we were kind of there. The gear was done. It was, sitting in the warehouse and catalog was finished. And, it was time to really get this thing fired up. So we were having a great time. And obviously we're really, really excited with how the line turned out and be to show everyone kind of, the hard work that's gone into it. So it was obviously a launch party, but it was also kind of a celebration of, getting to that point and being ready to showcase this gear to the world.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Yeah, we have the same thing at work, man. And whenever we have a huge website launch, it's like, fuck yes, but it's really like 90% of it because there's still the maintenance aspect of everything that goes behind that. You still got more shit to do, but that main big push is done, and that always just feels so good. So congratulations on all the awesome work. I look forward to chatting with Dale a little bit more, getting to try some of the gear out, and having a lot of fun with it. So we appreciate your time.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I appreciate the opportunity, and thanks for bringing me on.
Hell yeah, dude. Take it easy. We'll chat soon.
All right, see you guys
later.
Bye.
I don't think you could have seen me, but
no. That might have been the fastest guest we've ever had on before. But I know that Jason Thomas said he was traveling for business and he didn't have much time, so that was kind of why I kind of wanted to treat it like that, to just keep it really quick, so it didn't get to a point where we were holding him up.
How long has he been? I don't know, retired? Because he was racing XC2
3 or 4. Oop, different Jason Thomas. This is the motocross Jason Thomas, not the New Zealander, not the Australia, New Zealander. Oh shit, he's gonna hate me. UK. Woohoo.
How
many concussions have you had?
Dude, I mean, Jason Thomas. I didn't know there was a Jason Thomas in the
moto world.
In the moto world, but he said former pro, so I was like, oh, okay, that's Jason Thomas I'm thinking of. Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. So he raced. So the BTO sports team, right? Way back
That
in the day,
Jason Thomas,
that was the Butler brothers.
Okay,
and he raced for the Butler brothers, like back when it was like the 3Bs or whatever, like racing team and stuff like that.
Okay,
and so
all right.
Even throughout his career, he was racing through those guys. Then, as his kind of career kind of started to wind its way down, he stopped racing a lot. Then he started helping that team grow and getting kind of their feet wet into becoming a larger team. And then he got in at Fly, and then I think he probably they're sponsored by Fly, so it probably helped that relationship. Yeah. And now he's a very, very crucial member of kind of that Fly marketing team and, and getting the sales and distribution stuff like that. All so right. Obviously, and then his huge member of the Pulpamex radio show, fun guy to listen to. So,
all right, yeah, I'm like closed-minded in my little off-road bubble over here.
We try to do our best to talk about everything, but hey,
No, absolutely. So, all right. So what's next on the agenda?
I don't know. What else you want to talk about? What else we got going on?
Okay, huge news.
Huge
news. Dirt bikes and tidal waves.
Oh, pipe dreams.
It's crazy. I remember whenever I was a kid, and whenever you're in your 20s, watching Krusty Demons of Dirt.
Right.
And you're like, oh, I didn't know a dirt bike could go across a pond. And you put a sand paddle on a 500 and it totally can. And so they were doing that in the 90s, and it's just nobody's really done it. And then boom, Robbie Madison's on a freaking tidal wave. Not tidal wave, it's not the right word. Just a big wave.
It was close.
It was a big wave. It was a big wave. But anyways, I saw that sand paddle on there, and they got the little
kind of the skis, I guess.
Ski, yeah. So just a little something extra that helps. So just because you kind of get to top speed and you just kind of slow down. You can't keep your speed up whenever you're hydroplaning normally. But anyways, I think this is just crapped everybody's mind that didn't know is remotely possible to hydroplane on a dirt bike. And you throw some skis on there, and what do you know? You're on a wave.
I want to know the testing of that. What was the testing like for that kind of shit?
I mean, seems like just kind of a go for it kind of thing. I don't know. I mean,
I don't know. Robbie Madison
how many bikes did they sink?
Way too calculated to do that.
Dude, do you see that picture of the barge that they had out there?
I didn't see a picture of the barge.
Dude, it was crazy. They had this barge. Well, I call it a barge. It was probably 50, 40 feet by 20 feet. But they had a ramp on it that went down. So I don't know if he started out on to get him out in open water. So
in the edit, they make it look like he's just riding in all these spots.
No, in the movies, not everything is what it seems like.
They use that barge to get him up to speed so that they could make the shots.
I'm thinking
they edit it all together.
I'm thinking so. I mean, yeah, because he's probably a good ways out there, and to get over the waves, I'm sure that would have sunk him. But my thinking is how many bikes did they sink?
Well, they had. So if you notice while he's riding, it looked like it was a jacket strapped to the very front of the bike, around the gas tank.
Yeah, that must have been a big balloon.
That was, I think, those were safety devices that were essentially if the bike either sunk so far or went so much time without somebody putting in a device that those would go off and to bring the bike up to the top. There's a couple pictures you can find online of them hoisting the bike out of the water with those safety devices.
Oh, really? So it went down.
Quite a few times it went
down.
Water,
okay.
Easily, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's naive of me to think one shot.
No.
Bike never went down. It's in the bottom of some reef right now.
What's funny is Cameron Steele, when they did the Rip to Cabo 2014, he decided that they needed to cross a channel in their little endeavor around the peninsula. And so what they did is they put a bunch of bikes in little pontoon boats and brought them across this channel, right?
Okay.
Everything went fine. There's 40 bikes, though. The last pontoon sinks because of a wave. And so they lost 5 bikes at the bottom of the Cortez Sea. And they had to use the helicopter to fly over and figure out where the bikes were so that they could go and pull them up. So I found that picture of Robbie Madison's bike with a little safety, the whatever they are, and I was posted on Cameron Steele's page. I was like, you need to figure out what these safety devices are if you plan on crossing any more channels in the near future. So
cow.
they work. Wow, but You can do stupid shit with bikes and oceans.
Well, not until this point. You can now. You know?
Yeah. So what's next?
That's nuts. But yeah, no, I really got a kick out of the video. You know, the innovation. Just, you know, I guess he's really just doing things that you wouldn't think of now. I guess that's his new thing. Before it was jumping long distances. Now it's doing things that you would never think of, like hitting a ski jump.
Literally, pipe dreams, like things that just
riding a freaking pipe. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So
I think
love that.
It's really weird though. Like they have that one shot where all the surfers and he goes by and they all kind of look at him like surprised. They genuinely look surprised when he went by, and I'm like, that almost seems like a dick move. Like if you're gonna be out there, I mean, he's got to be booking it at like 45, 50 miles an hour to like keep up above the water, even with the skis.
Yeah. What's
So like if they don't know he's coming and like he's that fucking close, like
no that's like that gets you beat up on the beach. Like, what's that movie with that one dude and he's FBI?
Point Break?
Yes, Point Break. Yeah, you know, sorry, I'm terrible with naming movies. But anyway, so yeah, he gets beat up in like one of the first part of the movie. Yeah, that Maddo should have got beaten up by
he did.
by the locals.
By a chick.
They must have paid him off.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I almost killed you. Here's some money.
Never saw this release.
We're Red
to be
Bull,
on TV.
okay.
Here's a Red Bull.
But it was really neat. I like the way, what I like about what those guys do is they put a whole thing behind it. Like they had a huge release party. They had all the film, you know, they have all the behind the scenes about it. It's not just like a little bit of a video, check it out. And the video is cool, you know, but they let it die. These guys have a clue. These guys do have a clue what they're doing when it comes to marketing. And I love it. I love the way that they're so forward thinking and learn how to kind of like, you know, encapsulate the entire message.
Next level. I mean, Red Bull's on it, dude.
Yeah.
They're doing some crazy stuff, you know. And DC Shoes, they're definitely putting
Defy convention
money in the right places, I'd say.
Yeah.
For sure. You know,
I didn't even know what DC Shoes stood for, I think, until a couple of years ago, like 5 or 6 years ago, when I think I saw a poster that said Defy Convention, and it was just like light bulb, like, oh no shit, oh, okay, that stands for something. Had no clue.
yeah, thank you. I learn something every day.
There you go.
Every
Watch
day I
Seat
learn
Time, people.
something.
You'll learn shit.
I know it, man. I know it.
Yeah. So, Steven, I see that you have pulled up the Seat Time Day 1 teaser over there. Did you want to play that? You want to play
You
that?
got a teaser?
Close out with that.
We could close out with it. What time is
Okay.
it?
8:48.
8:48. What else you got?
Okay.
What else you got?
Man, you know, you made me happy. We covered all the good stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
You guys
happy.
drank 2 beers.
2.
Yeah, that's allowed. No,
Yeah,
yeah.
no,
I'm
yeah,
not. Not. I just wasn't feeling good earlier this week, and the last thing I want to do with TKO coming up is wind up, you know, just not getting back to 100%.
Yeah, I never thought I'd see the day that I'm sitting on your couch drinking beer and you're not.
And I'm not.
This is odd.
Apologies.
I mean, it didn't throw off too bad of a weird vibe, but almost.
Would it be weirder if I had pants off and not had a beer?
Ooh. No beer's still weird.
Pants or no pants, you're not
Yeah.
having a beer. This is
Yeah.
fucked up.
All right, so teaser?
Yeah,
teaser. You
teaser.
say?
Here,
I
go ahead
love
and
me
put-
some
put your-
teasers.
put your
All
deal in so you can
let's
hear
put
it.
these back on.
Yeah.
Love me a teaser.
So, adventures.seattime.co if you want to learn more about our adventure. This is day 1 teaser. Day 2 teaser will be out this Friday, and so forth and so on until we get the edit done.
When's the release party?
I don't know yet.
411 dry, 45 minutes, 7 miles. Wet, 2 hours. Have the cameras on because it's going to be good.
Went over some stuff that I can't quite describe, but pretty cool trails, and got a good trail master, Wayne Cooper and Scott.
Day 1, Seat Time Adventures.
It's going to be pretty technical. Get your big boy panties on.
Yes. So light and short. Like I said, these kind of are teasers, just something quick for people to digest, get out there, kind of put some information going on as things happen. But yeah, we had a great time, man. 4 days of riding. We've already started talking a little bit about what could be next year. Do we go back to the same place? Do we move on forward? I have heard Moab has actually come up multiple
A lot of people
times.
talk about Moab,
So,
but
I've ridden mountain bikes and dirt bikes out there, and it's awesome for all of it.
Really?
So,
Really? Okay. See, I've only been to Taylor Park, but I'd move there in a heartbeat if I could. That place is amazing. And I was super bummed again that I didn't get to make it up there with y'all. We were in doing some family stuff that weekend. So, but next year, probably just gonna quit my job and live up there for 2 or 3 months. That's my game plan right now. We'll see how that goes. But I'll be living in a cave over there. Y'all just come by and we'll go ride.
what we were at in Holt's Guest Ranch was not much beyond a cave.
Where was it at?
We
What? Who's Guest
We were
Ranch?
staying at Holt's
A ranch?
Guest Ranch. Yeah, there's like it's just off by it's off a bit from it's about a mile away from the trading post there, and
Okay,
we were in
yeah.
Boy's trailer, which is a trailer from the 70s. Nothing has been touched from the 70s. The coffee pot was from the 70s. It was duct taped floors, like so the old linoleum floors, like where it had ripped, and then water had gotten in and rotted out the boards.
Oh, nice.
Instead of actually
That's a
like
nice
pulling
touch.
everything up and like fixing the boards, they just duct taped
Go
the
over
linoleum
it, right
tile
over
together.
it.
So that way, when you stepped on it, you still felt it squish, but you didn't fall through.
Man, what? I'll take a tent.
That
over
costs
the,
money up there.
I'll take a tent over the Ratchet Inn any day of the week, man. That
Well,
sounds,
the
why don't
reason
you
why
just
we did
camp
this
out?
is because I was with the family. Like, so we had my wife and the kids and all that kind of stuff.
Okay,
And my parents were
okay.
in the RV next to us in the cabin and stuff. So Dad was with Steven and his dad and all them on the UTVs all day, helping riding around.
Yeah,
and
your
doing
mobile
chase tours and stuff.
camera crew. That
And
like
then-
that, man. That's the way they do
yeah.
it. It really is.
So-
Meet us here. Meet us.
Well,
here,
next
meet us
year
here.
it's going to be, once there's once there's more time for more logistics and more people to be involved, we're going to be much bigger, much better, and we'll have a legitimate crew to work with Steven. So
Absolutely, man.
It'll
Well,
be
count me in. Like I said, I'm gonna be living there
right on. Well,
for all July and
sure.
August.
You'll be living there a day before we all get there for Seat Time Adventures
Yeah.
2.0.
Right? Absolutely, yeah. So no, we had to be honest with you, we had to choose between a cruise and going to Colorado this year, and so we're like, oh, let's go to Mexico and Rotan. So.
I've never been on a cruise. A good time.
What?
I've never been on a cruise. That's like the one weird thing I haven't done.
If you eat a lot, it's a place for you. If you drink a lot, not so much. It's really expensive, but
I thought
it's
are they
amazing.
not all inclusive on cruises?
Well, they have all inclusive, but most of them are just like you can eat whatever you want, but we're gonna charge you for drinks. So that's kind of the normal gig, So we'll just wait
I'd much
until
rather drink everything and then eat when I need to versus eat everything and then drink when I need. Like,
right. Yeah, it's kind of the other way around, but we figure we'll just drink whenever when we're in Mexico and in Rotan. Try to find some cheap bars or whatever. I don't know, but
right?
we got a lot of activities.
So what was how many days?
Was it a 6 day, 7 days,
Oh, wow.
7 days, 6 night?
And then was it like a
Saturday to
new place
Saturday.
each time, or was it literally like?
I think we'll have we'll be at 3 different ports. So, but we'll be in the ocean, the other 4 days. Just kind of like 2 days to get there, port, day back, some kind of thing, something like that. That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds
So,
like math.
Gotta work on the tan, layout. But I do got my priorities straight though. We got a room right under the gym, so gym's just like right there. So got am on vacation, but
work on your tan.
yeah, because when we come back,
gym, tan, and laundry. What is it?
GTL.
GTL.
So whenever we port on Saturday, we got to jump in the Fiesta, drive 6 hours straight to a TCCRA. So we got a TCCRA, so ride practice next
Yeah, you
morning.
better not drink like you're on vacation.
Oh, well, the last 2 days, you start throwing down water. I got a system. It works.
I got a system that works. It works. It works.
So, yeah, cruise, a lot of fun.
That'll be fun. One day I'll get to go on one. I'm
But
gonna win.
for now, I'm more excited about seeing the rest of your video. That looks awesome.
Thanks.
Shredding Colorado is always scenic, no matter where you are.
That was
scenic.
what I had forgot, is that because it's been a long time since I've ridden Colorado, and that was what I forgot. It's like it doesn't make a difference what trail you're on or where you're at,
No,
even if
yeah.
it's raining, if it's storming or whatever. Even if you're dying for breath, you just look over and you're like, "Fuck." This ain't Texas."
And
This
so
ain't
many
Texas.
stories, like one time when one of my buddies, we climbed a mountain, crested it, and on the other side there's a thunderstorm coming. So we're like, oh crap. So next thing we know, we're going downhill as fast as we can in hail and lightning striking around us, and we're on top of a mountain, and it's about 50-mile-an-hour wind. It's craziness happens. There's always craziness. Oh, your bike broke 20 miles down a trail, and it's nuts. It's nuts. Taylor Park's awesome.
Yep.
So you got a lot of good stories, and you got a lot of good. It looks like you got a good video coming out of that. I'm excited to see it.
It'll be a good time. Yeah, it's going to take us a little bit just because we've got so much footage and we've just got real life and everything else in the way. But that's the plan. It's kind of keep putting out a little bit of teasers every week until we can get a chance to finalize the full video. So
Very nice.
it'll probably be about 3 or 4 more weeks, probably about a month, unfortunately. But that's just what it is. Next year, if we're paid to do it, it'll be done in a week, and everybody can suck it.
Hey, there you go.
There
You're
it
paid
is.
to do it.
We'll see. We'll see. All right. So thank you for paying attention to Seat Time. This has been episode 176. Again, remember, we are brought to you by Fly Racing at flyracing.com. Of course, Kenda Tire USA at kendatire.com, and then Stillwell Performance at stillwellperformance.com. Please go support them. If you would like to support us, easy ways to do it. Remember to subscribe to everything that we have, become friends with us, like us, tweet us, just whatever with us. And then, of course, you can shop through Amazon off of off the Seat Time website, and that just gives us a little bit of a kickback.
2 clicks. 2 clicks.
2 clicks. 2 clicks.
All it takes.
That's Amazon's new slogan, thanks to Caleb Ripley.
Too
Two
easy.
clicks, 2
2
clicks.
clicks. Too easy.
2 clicks too easy.
That's it. That's it.
The buy now feature.
Yeah. Just bam. Done. So.
There it is. So, of course, we are on the Facebooks, we are on the Twitters, we're on the Instagrams, we're all over those kind of things. Just find us, like us, tweet us, whatever you want to do. It will be a good time. Of course, remember, go to the website, look for the new shop tab. I believe the drop catch piece is on there now. We'll be adding the koozies a little bit later. And, of course, we'll be at TKO, so get ready to do that. Kenda TKO training. Use the hashtag. We will see you next week as we have Cody Webb and a couple other guys on as we get ready for the TKO. Peace.
See ya. Haley, beer me.